Alright guys, today we're going to install our custom 72 volt 30 amp hour battery on the Ebox 2.0. So in the last video, we showed you guys some power upgrades. We added an iconic bar driver 72300 controller kit, a new 72 volt motor. Another thing we upgraded is the rear shock. Might be hard to see, but we added a surround shock right here. So this is the Powerful Lithium 72 volt 30 amp hour battery. It has a discharge rate of 315 amps, which is probably way more than this motor can handle. Controller can handle it, the motor not so much, but it's there if we need it or if we upgrade the motor in the future. We gave V basically the specs to really maximize the space inside of the Ebox frame. We were working with like very specific parameters in terms of like the measurements. So I did sort of just like a test fit with this battery. There were a couple of modifications that I wanted to do. This is the peg dropper bar that we got. This is the upgraded dropper bar, so it brings the pegs down a little bit lower. And we actually shaved some material off the top over here. This is what the stock peg bar looks like. And you could see that these slots over here is where the stock battery would mount onto. So it would attach to basically this piece like so. Essentially, we didn't need any of this anymore since we wanted to maximize all this space for cells, right? So what we did was we shaved off these slots here, basically to create more space for the cells, but also to remove any sharp edges that would affect the battery. So if the battery was sitting on top of this thing, with enough force, riding, and vibrations, it would definitely cut through the battery and cause a catastrophic failure with the cells potentially shorting. I did try putting like a wooden board on top, like so, but because of the size of the battery, it just wouldn't really clear. So removing it will now allow me to create more space for this wooden board. So what I'll probably do is attach it or tape it underneath the battery, and then that'll be the platform for this thing to sit right here on the peg dropper bar. We also shaved off some of the material here, which was the mounting point for the plastics on the left and right. I'll probably figure out another way to rig that plastic up, but you know, I think it was just a little bit too close and the angle was just a little too sharp. These parts, I kind of just hit a mallet to them and kind of pushed them out, these little slots over here. And then I added some Gorilla Tape just so we'd kind of avoid some of the sharp edges and stuff. That is kind of what I did. It's kind of a deep modification for, you know, for most people. I did use a die grinder. This is a Milwaukee die grinder. Really highly recommend this tool just for kind of like shaving material off steel. I'll put a link in the description, as well as the burr tip that I added over here to shave off the metal. I do have some straps, so I'll probably add some straps just as another security feature to keep it locked in, and maybe some foam. We really want the battery not to vibrate around or have any chance of touching the metal or having the metal kind of like cut into it. Alright guys, so we got the Powerful Lithium 72 volt 30 amp hour battery installed into the Ebox 2.0. So I put two battery straps on the battery, one on the bottom and one on the top, just to even out the tension. I added these little foam pieces here, maybe not really necessary, but yeah, just, you know, depending on how I'm going to ride this thing, I wanted to keep it pretty secure. And I do have that wooden base right here that's sitting on top of my modified peg bar. You could do what I do, or you could probably just figure out a way to cover the peg bar or the two slots there so it doesn't dig into the bottom of the battery, but that's how I did it, and so far so good. I do have the XT60 charging connector coming up from the top over here. We do have a basic tune on the bar driver, and before we do the first ride, I'll kind of go through the app and show you guys guys what that looks like. And then if you want some more advanced settings, obviously you can hit up Iconic Cycles, hit up Ryan Goodyear, and he could tune it further for you. So yeah, this is a great option if you want 72 volts with more amp hours for the Ebox. So definitely hit up Powerful Lithium. I think this is going to be available on their website. Anyway, that's pretty much how we fit the Powerful Lithium 72 volt into the Ebox 2.0. We'll do our first ride, and then we'll kick it over to Sully, and he'll do a stunt test ride, and maybe we'll just do a top speed test as well.
Powerful Lithium 72-volt Uranus battery is a serious upgrade for the Ebox 2 electric mini bike. With a massive 30 amp-hour capacity powered by Molicel P42A cells, this battery isn't just about extending range. It's about sustained power delivery and high current bursts that boost both the bike's range and its punch off the line. Add in the ANT BMS with Bluetooth, and you've got active management for each cell, meaning improved performance monitoring and safer long-range riding. Now, fair warning, this battery isn't plug-and-play with the stock Ebox 2. You'll need an aftermarket controller like the Far Driver 72300 from Iconic Cycles and a 72-volt rated motor. And the installation will require minor adjustments to the peg bracket to make it fit. But with a 315 amp rating, the payoff is 22.6 kilowatts of potential power, a serious leap for riders looking to push the limits of their Ebox 2. This is the kind of upgrade that feels like it was built for riders who want more than just a commute. It's for those who crave the thrill of high-power, long-range riding.
If you removed the bracket like this and you have a grinder wheel, it would be super easy just to get rid of this. You just push it right in the grinder wheel, clean it up real quick. But we were using this, and it took a while. But we got it done, and it still had the same outcome, and the battery fits now perfectly. But yeah, definitely a very big battery for this bike. The motor can only push like an eighth of, not even probably, of what the battery can push. So we need to find a motor for this thing. So someone hit us up with a motor so we can make this thing go fast. It's kind of similar to my Suron because I have a super large 60 volt, 60 amp hour battery and really big sumo tires. So it's basically just like a mini version of my Suron. The battery is capable of so many more amps than the motor can take. So we're gonna have to fine balance the tune to make it so that it doesn't blow up the motor, but also gets us a top speed that we're happy with. Definitely feels like it's gonna go faster. All right, let's see what she's got here. Floored now, we're gonna pass this guy. Let's see here. So we're absolutely matted. She doesn't like going up the steep hills here, but 34 I seen on there. Crazy fast for this little thing. Meow. 38, 39. Oh, it's 1 fucking mile an hour short. Oh, so cold. Alright, we gotta hit 40 this time. Come on, little baby. Get full tuck here. Maximum speed. 40. 42. I think that's gonna be it right there. Holy shit, it's cold. That was fast, yeah. 42. I don't think it's gonna go any faster than that though. Full tuck, baby. Oh, 44, 45. Oh man. Cool, so we're about to give this thing a little stunt test in this little basketball court here. And we changed the settings up a little bit, and this is what we changed them to. And it's to give it as much power as possible while still being a smooth power delivery, so it's not jerky and easy to control. So I guess first thing, let's start with and maybe just like some 1 foot down circles. So putting all your weight to the one side because that front tire stops spinning almost immediately. But as you can see, other than me sucking, pretty good. Very easy to pop up now and keep it popped up. And the stoppies too on this thing. Crazy. Really fun now that it has that like little bit extra. I can't get a circle. I want it so bad. We got it. We got it. Got it. Oh my God, this is so hard. The arm pump on this thing, I'll tell you what, is insane. So going from the stock 60 volt with the dirt tires when it was like super light, to now having this big battery, this street tires and everything, not so light anymore. It's definitely a big difference, but it's a difference that I'm already used to and accustomed to, so I really like it. So the stock battery, there was no way you were gonna keep up with all your friends to go, you know, to mega rides or anywhere on like group rides, anywhere far at least, to where now with this 7230, you're gonna have a lot of extra range, no more range anxiety. Yeah, definitely worth it to shave down all the parts on the bike to make this fit. Sacrifice a little to gain a lot. Now all we really do need is a motor that could handle a bit more power, but I am not quite sure if they make one that'll mount directly into the frame for it. Probably have to be a hub motor, but we'll see. We'll see what we can come up with.
Okay, my first ride with the 72 volt Ebox 2.0. I think Sully went over all the important points about the 72 volt mod. I know there are 2 other batteries. I know Ebox has their own battery, which fits in the, I guess, the stock enclosure, but it has less amp hours than the one we're using. And I think a Morge makes one. From what I saw on some of the forums, I think the measurements were just a little bit too big. So I don't think that's an issue if you shave off the material on the bottom bracket. Either way, I think once you go past 20 amp hours, you're gonna have to shave material to get that extra range. It is what it is. I think it's worth it. We'll just see how it feels. I'm using Sully's tune. We'll just get right into it. I think one thing that I definitely noticed right off the top is that it feels way more responsive. Obviously it's 72 volts. For some reason it sounds quieter. I don't know if I'm imagining that, but I think maybe there's something happening there with the power delivery and the controller. Like it feels like the battery is more of a match with the controller, maybe because it's delivering more, it has more potential, it's not struggling. I think the motor is the only thing that's limiting us right now. That's why we're not really pushing the amps too much. We don't want to blow the motor. We could do a trial and error and, you know, like push it as far as we can until the motor gets super hot and then dial it back. But to be honest, I'd rather wait for a motor that can actually push the limits of this battery. Just a little bit of this around here. Not bad. You know, I mean, this thing could definitely rip on the streets if you needed to. Very easy to maneuver. You got more power right off the line. Powerful Lithium makes great batteries. They worked with us on making something that was custom for this bike. And I feel like we've really maxed the potential of this bike. If we find a motor that could fit with this battery and really push the limits of it. I mean, this battery can do a 315 amp discharge, right? And we're only pushing like 40 amps line into the controller. So it has a lot more. But if you don't really need that much power, you're not really trying to, you know, go 50 miles per hour, 60 miles per hour, you just want to stunt ride it, that's more than enough. If you saw what Sully did, you could tune this thing to really match your style. If you're experienced with like stunt riding razors or that kind of thing, or like mini bikes, shouldn't be an issue. So yeah, if you want more information on the battery, hit up Powerful Lithium. They have it up on their website. And we proved that it fits and that it works with the controller. If you want the controller, hit up Iconic Cycles. We have a promo code. Put all the links in the description. And yeah, let us know if you decide to mod your Ebox 2.0.